It is time for our first look at some actual NHL 26 gameplay. Last week we saw the reveal, and let's be honest, it was hard to even tell what was new.
That's what defines the greats, an X Factor.
Stuff was just flashing on the screen. You really only saw gameplay for 1 second at a time, so I'm hoping in this trailer we actually get some uncut, unedited gameplay. Is this a big year for the NHL video game, or is it another year of just small changes? Let's find out. There's that new McKinnon sidestep move.
I'm Craig McMorris, and welcome to the NHL 26 Gameplay Deep Dive. I have always loved Chell, so I am beyond stoked to introduce what's new this year.
Why did they not use that in the reveal trailer? Finally, a new save animation. Holy.
2.0, which is now powered by NHL Edge player data, whose incorporation makes your favorite superstars think, move, and play more like themselves. To take us through the details, let's pass it off to Mike Englehart and David Pritchett.
We saw pretty much all this in the reveal trailer, but we did get some new info in the meantime. The NHL Edge system is what's being used to determine all of the players' stats and attributes here in NHL 26. If you didn't know, in the real NHL, there are now trackers in essentially every part of the game. So in 26, all those track stats are then correlated to their stats in the game, so the speeds should be dead on. Like if they're fast in real life, they will now be fast in the game. Now, a lot of the stats in the game are still subjective. It's like, how do you rate someone's poke checking ability or their offensive awareness or whatever? But at least certain stats will be perfect to how they are in real life. So let's see how this actually works here.
We're building on Ice Cube's defining vision of true hockey
Ice Cube
intelligence
2.0.
by incorporating the data-driven
Ice
innovation
Cube.
of NHL Edge, which powers how superstars play in NHL 26. The NHL's groundbreaking puck and player tracking technology uses
Okay, so here's what we
14
mentioned
infrared
earlier, how it
cameras
actually
placed inside
works.
all
They've got the
32
cameras,
team
the
arenas
trackers.
to capture data from sensors embedded
Pretty
in
cool
every puck
technology.
and tags sewn into players' sweaters. In NHL 26, IceQ 2.0 uses that treasure trove of NHL Edge player data to impact how players perform in game. For
Honestly,
example,
I kind of
we've
like that
reviewed
graphic in the
historic
bottom
trends
right. I
and
hope that's
performances,
actually in the game and not
use that
just
to update
here in
his
this
character's
trailer.
attributes and tendencies, so his skills are aligned with his real-life self. And AI
So there's Ovi
will naturally position
ripping his
himself in
onesies.
patented power play spot at the appropriate time. Altogether, that means AI players start to think, move, and play like your favorite stars.
I mean, this is kind of cool. Like, I definitely like having the actual stats down low. You could see the save percentage there. We saw the shot percentage up close. And then, of course, Alexander Ovechkin in his patented spot had a 19% shooting percentage. We're a minute and a half into this trailer, and it seems like there has been more real-life footage than actual gameplay, which is not what you want to see. In terms of the brief gameplay portions that we have here, you can see Pasta walk in, and I actually do like this backhand animation. It seems like there's a bit more flow cutting to the backhand. The ankle breaker beneath him does activate, meaning maybe that's what initiated kind of that different animation. It does look like in the actual game that text is going to pop up underneath when those animations happen, so you can't actually tell when the X Factor is having an impact. I don't really love the look of having like the text under, but I do understand why they would have it. I do think it's cool having the different segments of the rink down there, and maybe stats will be different if you take a shot from different areas of the ice. But again, that's just in theory. We need to see how they actually integrate some of these stats that they have.
Attributes are one of the main pillars of how IceQ.
How many times are we going to see this little sidestep? Sick move, don't get me wrong.
It's used to inform key player attributes
Little Hudson
like
head
skating
fake.
acceleration, top speed,
Okay, that's cool. They did my boy
Slap shot
Boone
power.
dirty, but that's cool.
and wrist shot power, giving in-game superstars true-to-life differentiation. So when you play with or against Connor McDavid, his acceleration and speed are aligned with the stats in the real world, a difference you really feel in-game.
Again, another section where we really haven't seen that much. I feel like the goal of X Factors in general were to do what we are seeing right here. And yes, there are times in NHL 25 where it feels like that happens, but it looks like they're trying to take it to the next level. So not only using the X Factors, but also the attributes there with the NHL Edge. You see this McKinnon clip. Yes, it's a nice little cut in, nice shot there. You see the ankle breaker pop up. So it's some combination of the X Factor with the attributes that is making that special animation happen. The Hudson head fake is actually pretty nasty. I like how you can actually kind of see him shimmy his body back and forth, and that opens up the lane. Seeing the skating speeds and shot speeds here is nice, since I feel like it's always just been kind of an imaginary number, like shot speed. Oh, it's a 99, it's fast. Oh, it's an 80, it's, you know, a little bit slower. Austin Matthews has a little release here. This is similar to the Bedard shot that we saw in the trailer, but more subtle. You can see he's kind of in motion, immediately pulling it back and ripping that one top right. And then we see Connor McDavid just bursting through the middle, probably against rookie AI, just going 5-hole. This doesn't feel like anything super innovative to me. I don't know, man.
What makes a superstar stand out is their individual tendencies on the ice, highlighting their signature moves, like Draisaitl taking sharp angle shots on goal, and McKinnon's love for laying out the body brings her on-ice character to life.
I don't know.
So far, we have 22 unique tendencies spanning both offensive and defensive impacts that have been crafted to make those in-game NHL players perform in lifelike fashion.
To be real here, we just saw another 30 seconds of gameplay, and none of this stuff really seemed any different to me. So certain players will have tendencies based off their real life tendencies. We see Draisaitl with his no angle shot. Don't get me wrong, it's a sick shot. I just feel like you could take this from any of the last 5 years and probably have that same shot. They mentioned there's 22 new tendencies, and obviously only certain players will get those. But for example, the stick check one, like this is Harley just doing the most basic poke check imaginable. There's nothing special about it whatsoever. And then Werenski has the stretch pass tendency and is just making a pass to an open winger like that. That's not a tendency. That's just any player in the NHL is making that pass. You know what I mean?
The big components of IceQ 2.0.
Okay, so that was our gameplay portion. Now we're getting into the presentation more so.
But it really comes alive with new animations.
That's actually cool.
Visualized
Little heat maps.
Expanded replay insights highlight everything from skating speed, shot speed, shooting percentage, and threat analyses on goal.
Okay.
New broadcast graphics showcase
nothing crazy, but nice little touch, I suppose.
To amp up the in-game storytelling. Speaking of, multi-story replays will now highlight important sequential game narratives.
Okay, that's the same fight. Fighting has not changed, we can see.
Big moments and give them the spotlight they deserve.
They're taking those NHL Edge stats and incorporating them into the replay. So those heat maps are actually pretty cool. Like I like having the ability to see where you're beating different goalies, what part of the ice you're scoring the most from. I do like some of these replay angles. They have like drone shots where it's like panning over and zooming in slow. They got the low shots. So you can actually see the openings on the net. That is nice. And then with those stats, we have the player comparisons. So we see Byfield with his face-off percentage. I think that's good. Like in Be a Pro, it'll be nice to have those extra details and little storylines. For the most part, I'm playing multiplayer and just spam skipping all of these replays anyways, but I do think these are good things to have, especially in franchise mode and Be a Pro, those kind of modes. Only other little info we get from this is the fighting is still the same as it has been for the last 10 years or whatever, but it is what it is.
The all-new goalie crease control system brings players
okay, so some stuff for the goalies here as well.
Thanks to 81 new animations, close range saves, poke checks, as well as upgraded AI positioning that gives goalies increased control over the blue
So his
paint.
gloves kind of up and he used his arm.
Animation sequences saw goalies lock into positions as the action moved on around them. Now, real-time reactions allow goalies to respond fluidly to changes in puck direction with split-second reflexive responses that really add excitement to high-pressure moments. And if one slips past them, new goalie reactions let you feel their emotion when the opposition lights the lamp. The goalie crease control system provides an increased level of realism and effectiveness to the netminders that we know players have been waiting for.
Ooh, so that was actually like a little double tap. Punched it away. So the goalies did get some love this year. In the reveal trailer, it was actually kind of tough to tell, but now we see some of those new animations, and these actually look kind of cool. I mean, this sprawling out pad save, he puts the glove behind him even. That's nice. I mean, the more animations for the goalies, the better. I think when NHL starts to really feel repetitive is when just you figure out those basic moves that work every time. And I think with the more animations, hopefully those moves will be less likely to work. So, you know, you can't just walk in, go backhand, forehand, backhand every single play, because with some of these, they'll have the desperation saves that are kind of in the mix there every now and then. I will say some of the most frustrating goals as a player was when your goalie was just stuck on the ground for 10 seconds at a time. So it's good to see they've addressed that. The goalies at least pop up here quickly and will get over to make those saves instead of sitting down there and staying down. The look of defeat after a goal trickles in is such a small thing, but those little things add up. Like, I actually like that. I know it might not mean much to many people, but I do enjoy that.
So know that the community has been
last part here is the X Factors
approach to X Factors. So we've crafted an arsenal of 28 refined and enhanced X Factors that span 5 different categories with unique animations.
So it's 3 different tiers.
Gameplay outcomes. Each of those X Factors has 3 tiers of impact, which can be felt and seen more clearly in gameplay with new, distinct gameplay animations and presentation elements. The goal in reworking the system is to create more meaningful gameplay effects for each X Factor and ensure they bring genuine strategic differences to each game. So when Evan Bouchard fires off his rocket X Factor, its power may catch the opponent's goalie by surprise and stun them in-game. X Factors are now a formidable on-ice weapon that makes
that no-angle backhand from Crosby. Ew.
As you can see, incredible updates to Chell this year. I'm excited for you to get into the game, get on the ice, and feel that superstar impact yourself. NHL 26 is available for pre-order now.
Okay, so there we have our gameplay deep dive. So here we get a look at the revamped X Factor system. They now have 3 different tiers: Specialist, All-Star, and Elite. To me, this entire deep dive is kind of boiled down to X Factors, attributes, and making superstars feel like superstars, and this is yet another one of those. It's actually nice to see the exacts of what those X Factors do. For example, wheels, once you hit your top speed, you get an additional speed percentage and for an additional amount of time. So for the Specialist acceleration, you get a 3% boost for half a second, but with Elite, you get an 8% boost for a full 2 seconds. Down at the bottom, Second Wind gives you an energy recovery, and with Elite, you get an 80% energy recovery. That could be insane. I'm not going to read through all these, but obviously you can pause the video and see what each of these X Factors does. It's an interesting concept. I like having the 3 different tiers and actually being able to see what that stat boost is. Certain X Factors will have special animations. I really do like this bat down one. Like, I think more of those unique special animations can add up. And again, it said they have 28 of them in terms of the new or improved X Factors. But then others don't really seem to be tied animations. Like, you have the backhand beauty here. That just looks like a normal backhand. I mean, it is the most disgusting backhanded angle I've ever seen, but the animation itself doesn't seem different. And that sums up the gameplay deep dive. For me, there just was not enough actual uncut gameplay. This felt a lot like the reveal trailer with things quickly flashing around, real life footage mixed in. Like, I just want to see the game. I think the things they added this year are all good things and all interesting, but to me, it just doesn't feel like a huge jump from last year. The main focus of X Factors from the beginning was to make superstars feel more like superstars, and now it seems like this year the whole focus is again to make superstars feel more like superstars. I don't know. I wanted to see some more impactful changes and just more uncut gameplay. So we're gonna have to wait and see how some of this stuff actually plays out. This deep dive has me feeling pretty similar to the reveal trailer, where there's not like any huge significant changes, but the small things can start to add up. We'll just have to get the game in our hands and wait and see. But as always, let me know what you think about this trailer. Are you hyped? Are you disappointed? Are you somewhere in the middle? Leave a comment down below and let me know. We also didn't get any info on Be a Pro or any of the other game modes, so hopefully another trailer will be coming soon. If you guys want to stay up to date on everything NHL 26, make sure to hit the video with a like, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 1 million, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.